We all know that violence is immoral, especially when it comes to gender-based intimate partner violence, which was declared an epidemic in Toronto in July 2023. The World Health Organization, or the WHO, published a study in 2021 that stated that violence against women, particularly intimate partner violence and sexual violence, is a major public health problem. Furthermore, the WHO found that worldwide, nearly 1 in 3, or 30% of women, have been subjected to physical and/or sexual violence by an intimate partner or a non-partner sexual violence, or both. This was also brought to the forefront during COVID lockdowns, and women were locked in with their abusers without having their workplace to go to for a break or protection. And this is just not happening in Toronto or Canada or even North America. It is worldwide. I talk about female empowerment on this show, and it's important to define exactly what that means. Karol Solís Menco has a PhD in political science, is a senior research associate at ICR Colombia, and professor at researcher and Universidad del Norte, and she's joining us from Barranquilla, Colombia today. Karol, thank you so much for joining us today. This is such an important topic.
Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you for having me. And it is a very important topic.
So let's begin. What are we talking about when we talk about female empowerment?
Well, I really appreciate that question because how I'd like to explain it is that there's usually a mismatch in between how we sometimes describe a concept or we formally describe it and then how we get to see it applied. And female empowerment has to do with advancing in gender equality and the tools to do it, including giving access to more opportunities and access to power to women. And that access implies a lot of things, or you would ask, like, what kind of power, right? So it's not just power to have the ability to choose whatever they want their life to look like, but also the ability to make choices about how their families can look, how their sexual life can look, how their education can look, or how their professional path can look. So it's powered in different spheres of life, I would say. Unfortunately, however, how we get to see it sometimes is that there has been sold an idea that empowerment has to do with almost being Wonder Woman. The idea that now women have to do like the house chores, like conforming to a stereotypical roles, and that on top of that, they will get to do something else with their life, including educating themselves, having a professional path, but that they will do all of that on top of conforming to stereotypical things that are expected from them. So I would say that's the mismatch in between thinking about female empowerment and how there's like this commercialized idea that now we have to be pretty professionals and still have or conform to the stereotypical family type. That's something I would like to say about it. And then on the other end, female empowerment has a lot to do with how we understand our rights. It has to do how much we know about our rights and the ones that we don't have, whether or not we are committed to still fight for them.
So, okay, let's talk about what this topic is about, which is when we talk about gender-based violence, what exactly are we referring to?
Well, gender-based violence has to do with the idea that there are forms of violence that disproportionately affect women. So a normal misconception is that it only has to do with women, even though we use it or it was created to refer to a specific forms of violence to women. It can also refer to men and specific forms of violence that disproportionately affect them. So in the case for women, you were mentioning at the very beginning the pandemic, and you were mentioning data points about Canada. Well, it also happens in my country, of course, and all over the world.
Karol, hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought. We've got to go to commercial break, but we will be right back with more of the gender-based violence.